Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, June 21st, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I accept the feels. And today we have our first day of Sun in Cancer, and this aligns with solstice. In fact, it is when solstice happens that Cancer begins. So that official time is 2:14 a.m. Pacific time. And solstice brings either the longest or shortest day, depending on what hemisphere you're in. Got Mahalo joining us for this scope, cat support. Although, in general, this astro is like, it's a little tepid, which is nice. We need a little tepid water. We've been in the hot water for so long. There's a few things. So there's a certain magic about solstice energy to be aware of. And today is a really good day just to connect with the light and recognize that light outside of you is connected to the light within you. Recognizing that can just be a very healing energy at this time, and just a remembrance of ancestral magic. You know, all of our ancestors at one time have looked up at the light and been so grateful for it. So that's a beautiful thing, and that ancestral piece can help us with these Cancer feels. So let's dig into Cancer. Let's actually start with Gemini. I always feel like it's so important to recognize the foundation that happens before we move into a sign. So the foundation of Cancer is Gemini energy. And it's so interesting. Like, okay, why would we need Gemini energy to prep for Cancer? Well, because we have to get a hold of our minds. Because when Cancer comes in, so do the feels. And our mind can take the smallest feel and write a novel about it. But if we have some kind of control or some kind of awareness over our mind, then we don't necessarily have to go down the feeling rabbit holes, although we still might. So that's why Gemini is very important to come in before Cancer. Cancer is a sign of nurturing, feeling. It's about home. It's about family and connecting to these energies. Cancer is the first water sign. If we start with Aries. So we had fire, and then we had earth, and then we had air. And so here we are introduced to water, the watery energy, the flow, the different ways that water shows up in our life. Solid, liquid, gas, right? The way the feelings will show up, solid, liquid, or gas. Right? So one of the things that I'm really connecting with for Sun in Cancer is the ability to be with a feeling. So often, and I do this all the time, and this is even part of doing astrology for me, is, excuse me, instead of being with the feeling and letting the feeling move through, trying to solve the feeling, trying to heal the feeling, trying to heal whatever it is. And Cancer reminds us, while we can go there, while we can be actionable, sometimes the actual feeling, the acceptance of the feeling without trying to change it, move it, any of those things, is actually one of the most healing things that we can do. So my encouragement for you today, and as we move through Cancer, is just sit with the feeling. It doesn't have to be forever. I believe 90 seconds is all that a feeling needs to fully be able to move through. But usually within the first couple seconds of an uncomfortable feeling, we're already trying to shift it, whether it's with our mind or actions or avoiding it. Now, the avoidance is definitely something to be aware of, especially in this energy. Cancer can be known as quite a worrier, and Cancer, you know, likes to nurture with various things, food or reward or, you know, anything like that. And so between that and the fact that we have Venus at 28 degrees Taurus today, 28 approaching 29 Taurus, it may be very tempting to escape the feels. It may be very tempting to eat away any feelings. And you know what? Go ahead, eat. But be aware of going overboard, because between Sun and Cancer and these feels coming in, we have some big feels with this to look at. And this Venus final degrees of Taurus energy, that combination of Cancer and Taurus, like, it's gonna eat or shop. So be aware of that. The final piece that I want to bring through is Cancer is when we also connect to family. So again, through connecting to recognizing your ancestors, those who have come before, being aware of your family now, whether they are blood family or friend family or soul family, holding that in your awareness through this time of Cancer and recognizing that you are supported, whether it's blood family or soul family or friend family or whatever, animal family, cat support, mahalo will be your family. Whether it's any of those things, recognize that you do have family and you are supported, even if it's not in traditional sense. I think that's really important with Cancer, because Cancer just has that need of nurturing and being nurtured. I always like to warn you of what to watch for during a certain season. I would say during Cancer, watch for over-worrying, watch for spiraling into feelings, deeper feelings, watch for denying your sensitivity. Sometimes I'll say watch for being oversensitive, but I think rather than saying that, watch for denying your sensitivity. Your sensitivity is a gift. You're not being oversensitive, technically. A lot of times when somebody is seemingly acting oversensitive, there is another wound that actually needs attention. So rather than denying that sensitivity, be willing to go in even a little bit deeper in the spirit of Cancer and in the spirit of being able to move these energies along. Let's look at the other astro we have going on today, because woof, there are some things. So like I said, the sun moves into Cancer 2:14 a.m. Pacific time. Right before that, we have Venus and Pluto meeting in a trine. I mentioned that in the scope. While trine is yesterday's scope, happy connection. Anytime we have Pluto, there can be deeper feels, deeper things coming up. And as Venus is meeting with Pluto, there can be worth stuff, there can be money stuff coming up. And again, you may experience this through greater feels. So be aware of that energy. That also may show up in your dreams. There may be power, control things showing up in your dreams. The other thing that we have is we have the moon in Aries and Jupiter meeting up today. So Moon in Aries gets those reactive feels going, especially when it's meeting up with Jupiter. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So being that we have the sun move into Cancer and then it's like, bam, let's have this meeting, check yourself before you wreck yourself with this energy, because that Moon, Jupiter, Aries combination, it can be very fiery, impulsive, reactive. So just keep that awareness. Now, the good news is that is earlier in the day, 8:37 a.m. Pacific time, but keep that in mind in your morning. Slow down if you're going to work, watch out for morning spats that can escalate quickly because of this escalation. Actually, at the top of the cards, I forgot to pull them, and I just pulled them now, but I have the fighting card in reverse. No fighting, because its energy today is gonna woo! It's exponential in its nature. Moon and Mercury also connecting. That's later in the afternoon, but Moon and Mercury. So again, Mercury in Gemini, Moon in Aries, it's impulsive. There may be some really great ideas in this, but again, watch for the stories that you're telling, because all of this energy can really spiral those stories. Let's see what other cards that we have today. We have the slowing down card. Water slows us down. Get close to the earth. Again, for this solstice magic, take everything moment by moment. How do you feel? Check in with yourself often. How am I feeling right now? Even the mundane tasks that you are, do every day. Check in with yourself. How do I feel about this? Starting to recognize your feelings as an important thing, as a guiding post that can help you live more in alignment with yourself is a beautiful way of looking at things. I have the Sorrow card in reverse. So it looks like we're not going to be dealing with too much sadness today overall. Hopefully. Hopefully, because we're avoiding that fighting. And then I have the Queen of Cups to finish it off. Being receptive to the feels, being receptive to these energies as they're moving through for us. So, leaving that there for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.